Hello, my babies. Hello, Shark Well and Purple. Hello, hello. How are you all? Happy Thursday. I hope you are all having a lovely time above the sea level. Do not go underneath the water. You broke your wrist! Oh no! So sorry to hear that. Oh my goodness. What happened? Playing. I'm making my Instagram. Playing Ace Attorney. Exclamation point. Boop. Wow. Boop, 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 boop. All right. Put that phone away. I'm so excited. We get to go to court today, everyone. Are you excited? Are you excited for court? You like court? I hope you like court, everyone. Cause we're going to court. Cause we're going there. Cause we're going. Alley Cat, hello. Good morning. Good morning. Ah! Ow! 28 months. What on earth? Viking, hello. Welcome. Welcome. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Oh my goodness. I am so ready to do all the funny voices. I feel like I slept. I got enough sleep. I got more sleep than usual. I've sat down at my computer and I'm just like, I saw the bike. I saw it on my screen. I was skating with a friend at the roller rink and let go of her and fell backwards. Oh, awful. It's just gonna heal on its own, though, it sounds like, yeah. Or with a cast, I mean. I'm in misery, but hey, so far your streams are making my day better. I'm so happy to hear the second part of that, not the first part. I'm sorry about the first part. Yeah, I hope we can improve. We shall adapt, improve. I don't think... Like, this Vine boom can make anything better. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I hope you don't have to be in the cast for too long. Too long. Tutu. Put your arm in a tutu. Who needs a cast when you have a bright pink tutu?
Stop it. Get some help.
Hello and welcome to my stream. It is I, Comfy Catboy. I'm a cat and a boy. In this economy, that's crazy. I hope you're all having a lovely Thursday. Two things at once. Well, my cosplays, we had a problem. No! I'm so sorry, man. I know, because Cozy Cat Girl, my fiance, also is a cosplayer. And everything will look fine. Everything will be great. And then we get to the con. And, like, she'll start walking around in it. Boom! Something breaks. And if it's a good con, they'll have the, like, cosplay repair station. Like, they'll have somewhere set up for that. But if it's not a great con, then they won't have that. So, you're really gambling if they'll just have hot glue guns available for emergency repairs. Purple Queen Heart, I love you. Comfy, hot glue this to my shirt, thanks. It's true. Hot glue. It's true. Hot glue. Is a Kurumi cosplay a trip because of the heels? No! Oh, no. Oh, Lanyard Tailbone. That's awful. I hope you're okay. When I was a child, I was accidentally dropped, like on my tailbone. And I still am messed up from it, and that was all a long time ago. In a galaxy far away, I'm canonically an alien. Or whatever. I'm a Catboy, but also, Catboys don't live on Earth. So, like, I have to come from space. That's the only conclusion. A sussy Catboy? No. Because I don't have a sense of smell. So, there. Ah! How do you like that? How do you like those apples? Cozy, give me a good tip if I've ever decided to do a lot. The arm's gonna be a hassle. Man, that'll be fun. I thought that game was out because of how much y'all were talking about it. And then I find out today, I go on Steam and I'm like, oh, it's not out, like, at all. It's in beta. It actually broke someone's tailbone before. In karate. Whoa. I never heard of the go for the tailbone strike. But you gotta hi-ya! Right in the butt. Right in the butt. That's what they don't tell you. The difference between all the other colored belts and the black belts, or that the black belts know that you gotta aim for the butt. You gotta hi-ya! The demo's out, but the game's in September. I like the idea of the Souls-likes. Souls-like. Whoa! Cozy!
Take me to Hype Town. Choo choo.
Choo choo! Oh, you might have been a little too late, Cozy, but oh my goodness, thank you. Oh my goodness. Cozy! 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 They were kicking my dad. Got him while the guy was turning. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy to hear that. Purple Queen Heart. Boop, 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 boop. Alright, sounds good, Neko. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Let's play a game. Let's play a video game. I'm having a great... Oh, I gotta load it up. I forgot. Stupid Ace Attorney. Always cramping my steez. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go now. We're gonna go to the game. Let's go to court. You still have the pop-up. No, I'm sorry. It lied to you. It tricked you. Like, we're close to a hype train now again because of you. But as a result, you can no longer contribute to it. I like that wherever we're at in the case. Hold on. Like, we just did this jail thing yesterday, so now this is the main menu screen. Wee Coyote, hello. Your Honor, I believe 11037 is actually Leon. Leon! Can't be shall be punished? What do you mean? I'm a perfect angel. Ah! Oh. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Let me, like, I'm just in the main menu. Do you like this game, this main menu game? I like it too. All right, here we go, babies. Boop, 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 boop. Ah! Well, I never expected this. Catboy abuse! Who'd have thought we'd have to be back here again so soon? We are on a study tour of Great Britain with the intention of learning the country's legal practices. In order to research the latest court procedures here. Viking with a hundo! Oh my goodness, thank you. We're all trying to start this hype train, but it's it's not cooperating. I appreciate you all so much. In order to research, we need to experience court. What? We need as much court experience as possible. Good times. Well, yes, I suppose that's true, but for the person in the dock, it may. Here, how about this? Alley Cat, I love you. Here we go. We're gonna red leather. We're gonna wiggle our lips and stuff. We're gonna red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. And then we're gonna read some attorneys being all ace and stuff. You know what I mean? Speaking of Souls games, I got the idea to eat Bean Boozled beans. Oh, hell yeah. So Dark Souls 3 is the only one I played, and I liked it, but I didn't get very far. I streamed it a while ago. For the person on the dock, it may Well, it may be well... It may well be his or her... I don't know, I'm having a hard time with this. It may well be his or her one and only time in court. And it could be life-changing. I'm gonna blame the writing sometimes. It's not my fault. How could it be my fault? I do love the Irish in the movie The Irishman. Yo. Hell yeah. In which case, treating it as a research may seem a little crass. Wiggle lips with chat in this economy. Oh, when you put it like that, you're quite right. Good morning. Who's this? Oh, yeah, it's him. Ah, Mr. Natsume, good morning. He's so, like, crazy looking. Oh, dear, are you all right? Your eyes are terribly bloodshot. They really are. The early bird catches the worm, as they say in Britain. Yes, I've heard that expression. But I really don't want to catch a worm. So I tried desperately not to wake up early, but I was so worried I couldn't catch a wink. And now I'm absolutely exhausted as a result. Do all literary people take things so literally? Thank you for putting your faith in us today, Mr. Natsume. Get the idea from watching comfy streams? Hell yeah, I'm an influencer. I wish I had 9 lives. My whole future hangs in the balance. I'm too terrified to tremble. He's not. He's trembling. Really? Because I can feel tremors in the floor. Ow. I can't do this. I can't take it. Ow. Although, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Yes? I caught a glimpse of the public gallery as I walked by the courtroom. It looked like the opening night of the opera. There were so many people. I had no idea my case was such a notorious affair here in London. Violence. Oh, neither did I. Do you know why that might be, Mrs. Sato? I'm sorry, Mr. Naruhodo, but I have no idea. So that all-knowing look on your face is just a coincidence then, isn't it? Don't hide the truth from me. It's because of the Reaper, isn't it? Lord Van Zeeks. Is that right, Mrs. Sato? I purchased as many different newspapers as I could this morning, and yes, Lord Van Zeeks is on the front page of everyone! Would you say you're a bean influencer? Yeah, I would. I knew it. Sometime after the prosecutor was dubbed the Reaper of the Bailey. He stopped appearing in court, it seems. It's been several years now, in fact, until the day before yesterday. Yes, Inspector Gregson told us something similar, didn't he? Gregson says the trial 2 days ago marked Lord Van Zeek's return to the courtroom after a very long hiatus. Trial of Magnus McGilded. Ah, what a harrowing experience that was. Oh. I believe that appearance made even greater waves here in the capital than today's. Mason, hello! But we wouldn't have realized, of course, having only just arrived in the country. Why is the Reaper back in the Bailey so soon for what appears to be a mundane murder? That's the question the papers are asking, and they're all speculating various answers! Mundane! It's the most significant song of the century to some of us! I'm doing great. I'm kind of crazy. Time zone East Coast. How's it going? Great news, doctor finally cleared me for light duty. Hell yeah! Let's go. Oh my goodness. We're in a silly, extra goofy mood, Mason, today. Crimson, hello! Oh dear, I meant no offense, Mr. Natsume, but that is how the papers are describing it. Well, lest we also forget the fact that it could spark an international incident. Obviously, the reappearance of this infamous prosecutor has caught people's attentions. Is tomorrow the con? Is tomorrow an con? But there's also another blatant similarity with the trial of 2 days ago. Yes, I agree. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, it's you! Me? Well, I suppose that's true. Both times it is you who stands against this legendary prosecutor. It can only mean that you're friends with the Reaper! Why? Great Cat Cafe, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Mew Crew. New voice acting for a Twitch stream. Yo, hell yeah, that's exciting. What kind of stream? Please don't rub shoulders. I don't rub shoulders with Deathbringers. I'm afraid that there's really only one other explanation. It can only be another example, Mr. Naruhodo, of your uncommon bad luck. My idols are gonna be on the stream. What? That's awesome. Hell yeah. Oh, this is just my luck. Why must I be represented by a man with such frail fortune? By the least lucky lawyer alive! Well, let's not forget that it was you, Mr. Natsume. You asked me to represent you. Also, nobody else is gonna help you, so calm down. Oh my god. Yes, it's true that I'm just a student new to London with little in the way of experience or skills or luck. But I promise you this. I will fight your corner until the bitter end. And I believe in you, Mr. Natsume. Oh, benevolent locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire! You're not alone here with us, Mr. Natsume. Whatever happens, we will always be on your side. Unless you really did do it. In which case, oh shit. Oh, Danganronpa V3. Ooh, hell yeah, that's fun. Oh, benevolent non-locum assistant, Ms. Mikotoba Esquire is... I've been your debt forever! Shall never forget this great kindness for as long as I live. Mr. Natsume, counsel for the defense. The Oshinoko opening, it's very good. I'm nervous because nobody had heard my voice before. It's gonna go great, baby. I believe in you. All right then, Mr. Natsume, it's time. Let's go. Yes! This is it. My second appearance in a British courtroom. And my second trial against the Reaper. I hope you're watching over me, Mr. Kazuma, my best friend. We're just friends. We're just friends. Because this time, I won't let my faith waver. I believe in my client to the last. Just like you believed in me. I believe I could do this now. I'm ready for this fight. And it's because we're just friends. I do anything for my friends. Their boyfriend, no. They're just friends. He said so himself a lot of times. He was hiding in the closet because they were just friends. Oh, wait a minute. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is fully prepared, my lord. The defense is ready, my lord. The Nipponese are a truly fascinating breed. He's a vampire, just by the way, everyone. Not really, but yes. Lord Strongheart has told me all about you. That you are a student who arrived in London but 2 days ago. A mere amateur. Do you have a point? Being a compatriot, you feel compelled to try and help the accused, I suppose. Typical Nipponese arrogance. He's back to being racist. Forgive me, but I do not believe arrogance is an appropriate description. Tazan-san. After all, at our previous encounter, the defendant was found to be innocent. Very true, and a most fascinating, if dark, trial it was too. Oh, he hot now. The tragic conclusion came later, of course. Here's to the acquitted and his unfortunate, violent end. Everyone thinks that he burned down the boy. Thank you, counsels. I see both sides are in fine fettle. You want some wine? Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are you ready to carry out your duties here in court as impartial members of the public? It's that guy again. You never know when you might be down on your luck, but I believe in fair play for everyone. His name is Fair Play. Look at her. It's like Betty Boop or something. I must warn you, I'm rather more ruthless than I appear. What a happy little boy. What a happy little man boy. Well, not me. What you see is what you get. I'm a peace-loving fella. It's her. I'm afraid to say I think it's quite possible that mustached foreigner did the deed. Come on, what are we waiting for? No doubt he did it anyway. Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. I'm old. We have another old. Rizzo, hello, how are you?
Very well, let us proceed. Your opening statement, if you please, Lord Van Zeeks.
Very recently, Great Britain signed an alliance with a rising power in the Far East. I'm doing great, baby. We're reading. We're doing all the silly voices. The accused in the dock today is a student from that same land, a certain Mr. Soseki Natsume. Hey, that's all right. No worries at all. And while our country has extended this foreign student the warmest of welcomes, regrettably, the kindness has not been returned. In fact, the student is accused of a most sinister act. Of plunging a knife into the back of an innocent woman who was doing nothing but walking down the street. A knife crime? I tell you from bitter experience, those are the worst, bloody oath they are. Just look at that sallow complexion and short stature. He's one of those dreadful Japanese racists. I lied. I'd have to pay attention to watch closely this game. Because I got selected for jury duty. No!
Come on, let's get this over with. With me now, everyone. 1, 2, 3.
No, come, wait. Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Oh, no. Pray forgive the discourtesy of smashing my hallowed chalice here in this great chamber. He's always just asking for forgiveness, but doing bad stuff anyway. Allow me to call the first witness to the stand.
Very well. Bailiff, lead the inspector in, please.
He looks like a Castlevania boss, Dracula, yeah. Your name and occupation, please.
Yes, sir.
What was his voice?
Boris Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard.
Would you please summarize the events of the case for the court, Inspector? That's the victim. The victim, oh my god. The victim is thought to be a young woman in her 20s by the name of Olive Green, of course.
I beg your pardon, Inspector. Thought to be.
Yes, having been stabbed in the back by her attacker's knife, the victim fell unconscious. Making him kind of Australian. That was 3 days ago. Now, why am I? What's happening here?
And
Maybe I need to. I'm like lightening the affectation of it. And now she's been comatose ever since. What? So they don't even know who she is for sure?
Comatose. I see. But her life is not in danger.
Fortunately for the Eastern student, the charge will not be murder. Pray elaborate on the details, Inspector.
Sir, if I could ask everyone to look at this street map.
Oh, we got maps? Ooh, baby. As I mentioned, the incident took place 3 days ago at around 5 in the afternoon. It happened on the pavement running alongside Briar Road, a wide thoroughfare for horse-drawn vehicles. There she is. It had not been long since it stopped snowing as the victim, Ms. Green, was walking down the street. Bonk. Out of the blue, she was approached from behind by the accused and stabbed in the back. Luckily, the young lady's life was spared, and she's currently being treated in one of the city's hospitals. Hey, Kron, let's charge this guy for an unclear victim, as we're bored. But being unconscious as she is, we've been unable to take a statement from her, of course. This is the case file with everything we know about the victim so far.
Thank you, Inspector. The court will accept the documents as evidence, if you please.
You called him sexy, Edgeworth. Hey, I won't stop you. We got the case file. What of the weapon that was used?
Sir, I have that right here. It was removed from the victim's back.
Ouch, that big thing is starting to make me scared to walk down the street now. With a heavy blade like that, almost anyone would have been able to stab the poor woman. Even the scragged-looking Soseki-san, I suppose.
Common or
garden. What? Common or garden jackknife,
I would say, rather nondescript.
Garden variety? Okay.
Thank you, Inspector. This court accepts the blade as evidence.
I can usually kind of infer the old-timey slang, but that one threw me.
Now then, what do we know of the motive? Money or valuables, I presume?
From what we can tell by looking at the woman's possessions, it seems she's a poor student herself. Hard to imagine she'd have anything much to do worth pinching, my lord.
I see. Well, in that case, are we looking at some deep-seated resentment towards the victim?
I'm afraid I couldn't say. Apart from visiting second-hand bookshops, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, doesn't appear to get out much. At this moment in time, we haven't been able to establish any sort of connection between him and the victim.
Yes!
Excuse me. He raised my hand so awkwardly. If theft and grievance had been ruled out as the motive, what reason could Mr. Natsume possibly have had for stabbing the young woman? Yet you arrested the man in spite of that, in a totally unjustified and heavy-handed way.
Objection!
Pray, forgive the discourtesy of flinging a freshly uncorked bottle into the public gallery. But your words have soured its hollowed bouquet. For it is you, my learned friend, who is being heavy-handed here. What? Scotland Yard does not arrest people without good cause. That should be beyond question. Inspector Gregson, the prosecution calls for your formal testimony. Explain to the court precisely why the constabulary came to arrest the Nipponese student. Yes, sir. Don't worry, guy. He can manifest wine bottles out of thin air. Eat your chips, baby, baby. As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred. There was an unusually light fog. Visibility was reasonably good, and there was no one else but the victim. No one else about the victim and the accused. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor. Those being a number of old books he just bought, he was on his way home from a bookstop, it seems. It was just a matter of working out who the books belonged to, and we found the bloke to arrest him. That's all. That's it. That's nothing.
Old books, you say?
Yes, my lord. I have a photograph here of the scene of the crime, taken immediately after the incident. There's no blood or nothing.
Oh yes, I can clearly see the books to which you are referring. I will take that photographic print as evidence, please, Inspector.
We got the crime photo, baby, baby. Your Nipponese are a spineless breed, too cowardly to admit defeat. Denying everything despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. Well, Forgive me, Lord Van Seeks, but the defendant is not denying everything, as you put it. What are you doing, Mrs. Sato?
Do go on.
Mr. Natsume has admitted to playing some part in the incident. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, now that you mention it. When we visited him in prison yesterday, he did tell us all that happened. As I was walking along that accursed pavement, I could make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman wearing a green overcoat she was, and just as I went to overtake her, she suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed in the cold, hard slabs of stone at my feet. I was terrified. I had to get away from there. So I ran as fast as my legs would carry me back to my accursed lodgings. The knife is that deep yet no blood. It's weird that there's no blood. Huh, green overcoat. Well, that's exactly what the woman in that print is wearing. Oh my, a photographic print in full color? What will the world come up with next? The defendant has done nothing more than admit he fled the scene of a terrifying incident. But that does not mean he's guilty of the heinous crime of stabbing the woman in the back. There was nobody else there at the time, just the two of them, the victim and the accused. In other words, there is nobody else who could possibly have stabbed the woman. A fact that the accused concedes. You have a theory, but it's too early to put into effect.
Seems a cross-examination could prove to be pivotal, counsel.
My theory right now, based on yesterday, is that the couple, the sun and moon couple, one of which is juror number 4, like they in their rage they like threw a knife out there and it just hit her in the back or something.
Seems this cross-examination could prove to be pivotal, counsel. Proceed, please.
Yes, my lord. Nothing for it. I have to use this cross-examination to turn the tables here. It's our only chance.
Yeah.
Let's press everything. Oh my god. A light fog, you say?
Well, light for London. You can see the opposite side of the street for once. Not much farther, though.
That's light, is it?
Around these parts, yes. Not something I'd expect a Japanese fellow like yourself to know, of course.
I heard it's a canon event. I've read that I've read that London is famous for its fog. But in my country, people usually imagine that gives a city a rather beautiful appearance. How quaint.
Yes, well, it's not something us Londoners tend to romanticize, as I expect you can appreciate.
I see.
At this time of year, the fog causes a large number of accidents, especially when it's heavy. Sometimes you can't even see your own hand at the end of your arm. Indeed, the other day I was very nearly trampled by horses before I could see the carriage they were pulling.
Sato-san and I should definitely remember to stop, look, and listen.
However, on the day that concerns us, the fog was somewhat lighter than usual. In fact, no doubt lamented by the accused. Visibility was reasonably good, and there was no one else about the victim and the accused.
How are you able to state that with any certainty?
Quite simply, my learned friend, because that is what the witnesses to this crime have told us.
Ah, yes, Inspector Gregson mentioned the witnesses yesterday, didn't he? That's right! One of them is a policeman, I believe, from Scotland Yard.
That is correct, ma'am.
Then we must hear their testimony.
The prosecution will, of course, call them to the stand, should it be necessary.
But wait a minute. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, in the middle of the winter, it would have been dark already. No matter how light the fog might have been, no one could have seen.
I'm unaware of the situation on your tiny island in the east. But here in the capital city of Great Britain, all main roads are illuminated in the night by gas streetlights. The prosecution believes there would have been ample light by which to witness the crime. Right! Here in London, for the first time in history, mankind has completely conquered the darkness.
By which means we really need to hear those witness statements. Escar, Bubba Wallace, hello! If I could just get through the fog of this cross-examination, maybe we'll be able to...
It seems the counsel for the defense is taking stock. Continue with your testimony. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement.
Checkmate, check. There we do. Hello. Star, thank you. Hydrated. Hello. Good morning. From behind, you say?
That's right. As you can see from this print. Just like you stab the olive when you put it in the martini, it's just like that. Yes, quite so, Inspector. The handle of the weapon is clearly protruding from the victim's back.
V, I love you. Woo, 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 woo. You know, hang on a little bit. Hell yeah, get that work, baby. Do that worky.
And you say this poor woman, Miss Green, remains in critical condition, comatose no less.
I'm afraid so, my lord. She's been treated at Bart's.
I was hopeful she'd come around before the trial started so I could take a statement, but it wasn't to be. Yes, that is indeed a pity. It would have been most illuminating to hear the victim's own account of events. Luck is on your client's side, it seems.
On the contrary, my client has been exceedingly unlucky.
Your force of tone is seriously undermined by those disturbingly wide eyes, I'm afraid.
The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor. Natsume's belongings,
I think you'll find it's all there in the photographic print of the crime scene. Yes, the 3 books on the floor.
That's right, my lord. Second-hand books they were. Irreparably damaged after falling in the snow, of course. Really? The accused could easily have carried all 3 books in one hand. Which means his other hand would have been free to wield a knife, for example. He's very clever, isn't he? What do you mean? He's made it extremely hard for you to assert that Mr. Natsume had his hands full with his books. He's managed to close the one avenue of escape we might have had before we even knew it was there.
You mean to say that the defendant was holding his belongings as he thrust the knife into the woman's back?
That must be what happened, my lord, yes. Must be in a number of old books he had just bought on his way home from the bookstore. The defendant apparently visits a second-hand bookshop on a daily basis. Yes, so I understand. A shop full of... Whoa. Hello, Sandsboy. A shop full of old English literature. I commend the accused on the lofty subject matter of his scholarly attention. The bloke's room is stacked floor to ceiling with those musty old books. You're almost 2 years, Sandsboy. Hell yeah! Can you tell us more about the bookshop in question, please, Inspector? Feel old, but you're only 15. Get it? Do you get it? You get it? Never ending well. Oh! Almost 3 months. Well, if I must, I'll have to ask you to look at the street map again, I'm afraid. Victim walked in, saw the books, and backflipped directly into the knife. That's obviously what happened. The closest second-hand bookshop to the accused lodgings is this place here, Bourbon Books. A little place on the corner, Briar Road and Meerschaum Street. As it happens, the accused is currently living in lodgings on the other side of Briar Road at the opposite end. Which means it doesn't take a genius to work out the route he would have taken home. Something like this. Oh, okay. Yeah, but...
Yes, I concur with your conclusion, Inspector. The defendant would currently have passed the scene of the crime on his way home from that particular shop.
Mr. Naruto! I think that's what the inspector just told us could turn out to be of vital importance. Yes, I agree. I think so, too. I agree. Also. Why? No, I'm just joking. That was just a joke. The most important part... Okay, let's look at the court record. I don't know how much of this I have, like, really... Found the knife in her back and is currently in the hospital. Let's, Ow! Pavement of Briar Road, east side. The victim remains unconscious. Her name was gleaned from her personal effects. Other details are unknown. Stanley was seen running away by the reporting officer. Okay. Ismoka! Hello! That's so sweet. Hey. Hey, thank you for your kind words. Mad Max! Hello. Oh my goodness. I hope you're all having an extra lovely day today. Oh my goodness. That's so sweet of you. Okay. Yeah, he purchased books from your books. He didn't purchase them from the bookshop's name. Yeah! Victor Gregson, may I ask you a favor? What? Would you kindly add the name of the bookshop to your formal testimony, please? I believe it may be of vital importance. Maybe. Oh, well, you know, blah, 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 blah.
Very well. Not that I can see it being any... Oh, my God. Not that I can see it being of any great significance. But please revise your testimony accordingly, Inspector.
Yes, my lord, whatever you say. Whatever. Can man be any more sardonic? Can I be any more sarcastic? We're from Bourbon Books. Let's present a clue, baby, baby. Objection! Objection! If I could just stop you there, Inspector Gregson.
What is it, Sunshine? I'm a busy man, you know.
Busy eating these chips. This is a receipt that we found in Mr. Natsume's room. It was issued on the day of the incident and details the purchase of 3 second-hand books.
And you found that in the accused's room, did you?
Yes, but the point is not where the receipt was found, but the name of the shop printed on it.
Go on.
This receipt was issued from a bookshop called Your Books.
Your books? Your, I presume?
Yes, my lord. So Mr. Natsume did indeed purchase a number of books at a second-hand bookshop that day. However, the bookshop in question was not Bourbon Books.
Eh? What? Inspector, do you know of this other bookshop? Yes, sir. Your Books is another second-hand bookshop not far from Bourbon Books.
You can be like, huh, you can read? Weird. Sorg, hello.
It's just that. Well, it's such a small place, I didn't think the accused would have known about it.
Objection!
But in fact, that is the bookshop which the defendant visited on the day in question. And this receipt proves it.
Objection!
Yes, for what difference it makes. Wherever the man purchased his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis.
Objection!
I disagree. I mean, after all, I have the street map here if that may be of help. Oh, yes, thank you. Have a look at this, please. If the defendant had been returning from Bourbon Books, then yes, he would have almost certainly have passed the place where Miss Green was attacked. However, if we take into account the fact that he was actually at another bookshop, Your Books, it may very well turn out that he wouldn't have passed that location at all.
Could that be true?
My, it rather depends on where this other bookshop is, but I do declare it may be a possibility. Is that right, Mr. Lawyer, sir, what you just said? Absolutely, it absolutely could be right. Okay, but where is it, though?
We're asserting a lot without knowing where this place is. Inspector Gregson, where is this Your Books establishment?
Well, obviously we looked into that. Turns out that Your Books is just here on the corner of Mearsham Street going east. That's very close. That's 2 bookshops so close to each other. And there you have it. As you can clearly see now. Oh.
My learned Nipponese friend is obviously in training to be a clown, the way he regales us on such witticisms. To your future career in the circus.
Ow! What a sick burn, baby. You put that glass down now, or I'll put you down. I'll put it down for you.
I didn't think I needed to spell it out, but here we go. If the accused was coming home from Your Books instead of Bourbon Books, there's no doubt he still would have passed the place where the victim was stabbed.
Vampire Truth is a vibe.
Yes, thank you, Inspector.
Allow me to reiterate for my learned, if somewhat slow, Nipponese friend.
Wherever the man purchased his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis.
Ah!
Blech.
Hydrate.
As I suspected, you can't fool me, and I don't suggest you try. What did I say here? I've had enough of this show.
Beg your pardon, terribly sorry. Would you mind repeating that? You mustn't give up. What do you mean? If the prosecution's assertion is correct, the members of the jury may very well decide that Mr. Natsume is guilty. Ah, she's absolutely right. We must think. We must consider the assertion just put forward by the prosecution very, very carefully. It claims Sasaki-san must have passed the location of the incident on his way home from Your Books, but... well, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I can look at this. I don't get to know the name of these. I just get to look closely at it. Okay, I don't know. What is it, we examine this kniff. Oh, there's no point to it. There's no tip. Oh, look here, Mr. Naruhodo, just at the tip. A small piece of the blade appears to be missing. You're right. Well spotted, Mrs. Sato. I wonder what could have happened to it. Yes, you don't think it could still be lodged in the victim, do you? Pointless knife. Will not be a spoon? No. Absolutely not. Hell yeah, Neko. Oh dear, I do hope not. That sounds terribly painful. Is that all there is to it? Let's close it, I guess. Again. Ah! Letting me open it and close it seems interesting. Anything like inside? No, I guess not. Okay, I don't know. A knife! No! I'll raise an objection. We'll just see what happens. The assertion just made by the prosecution is fundamentally flawed.
Explain yourself, counsel.
Yes, my lord. You can see what I mean on this map. When returning from your books to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume could have followed the route suggested by the prosecution. However, that isn't the only conceivable route to take between two places. If the defendant used these streets, look what happens. He arrives back at his lodgings without passing the location where the victim was attacked.
Objection!
It's not the sharpest knife in the drawer. Talking back to a clown is a fool's errand, of course. However, I feel compelled to point out that route is what is commonly referred to as the long way around. Ah. On a cold winter's night, why would any man choose to take a longer route home? Well, the answer is extremely simple. He wouldn't. In other words, the accused took the obvious route back to his lodgings and is the obvious perpetrator of this crime.
Objection!
Yes, I've got it. Obviously, we must ask the man himself. Ask Mr. Natsume which route he took home.
I have already informed the court of the accused's response to such questioning. He claims he has no recollection.
Ah.
That's right. As I said, the bloke seems to spend his time outside wandering aimlessly from A to B. That day was no exception. He says he doesn't remember where he was or which route he took home.
I don't believe this!
Split. I thank you, my learned friend. And I suggest that we do not waste any more of the court's time by wandering aimlessly around this subject. Pray, what say you, insightful jurors?
But even if that... Oh. Whoa. Everybody...
I agree with Lord Van Zakes. Wholeheartedly, in every way.
What? I don't believe it. Does this mean...
We members of the jury are completely convinced now. Very well, in that case, I hereby call on all members of the jury to present your findings to the court.
Guilty!
Whoa.
Guilty.
Whoa.
Guilty.
They have voices.
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty!
Why do they have voice acting? Bum, 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 bum.
Oh my god.
No! We lose. Can I bonk him? Bonk.
It would appear the jury's leaning is unanimous. To the insightful members of the jury, I applaud your brave resolve. You serve Queen and country admirably.
Mr. Naruhodo! No, not yet. This isn't over yet. I still have one last chance to
Sway the opinion of the jury.
I have to tip the balance of those scales the other way. I have to turn this around. Somehow.
Those are the eyes of quarry not yet willing to give up and die. So I presume you intend to wield your rights again in this trial? Rights of the defense written into antiquated British law that should have been buried long ago.
Yeah. Call it antiquated if you will. But it's the defense's prerogative to carry out a summation examination if it so chooses. Yeah, I love it. I agree, V.
Very well, counsel. In accordance with the letter of the law, we shall begin this with the summation examination. Are all the members of the jury ready, Mr. Foreman?
Of course we're ready. I'm all too familiar with that Nepalese whippersnapper and his onkus refusal to throw in his alley.
Very well, then. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty.
Okay, we can do it. Judicial findings. Oh my god.
But he's psyched, that little Nepalese already admitted himself, didn't he?
Whoa! Kelsh with the raid. Hello and welcome, raiders. How is Minecraft? How are you doing? Hello, hello. Wowie. If he said that woman in green collapsed before his eyes, why could it have only been the victim? Why can only have been the victim? The man wouldn't have gone and went around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, not in winter.
So the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful. I really don't care. Can we just wrap this up now? I've got work to be doing.
Your books, yes, nice shop that. But bourbon books? No, not worth a visit. It was good, but just a bit lonely. Hey, yo, Minecraft by yourself? I've had some great single-player Minecraft times.
Only minor exceptions, the reason for finding the defendant guilty are all too clear.
When the stabbing occurred, the only two people at the scene were the victim and the accused. And the accused himself has admitted to seeing the victim in her green overcoat sink to the ground before his eyes.
Furthermore, we have heard from the inspector that the defendant then fled the scene. I must say, I would have ample grounds to convict this man already.
Oh dear, even the judge appears convicted of Mr. Natsume's guilt now. Why did she have to run away like that? And how are we supposed to believe in some phantom attack that no one can see? That is impossible. How can I possibly make a case for the defense? Mr. Naruhodo! This is no time for grumbling. If we want to force the trial to continue... Yes, I know. I have to turn the tide. I must make the jurors change their minds. Well, 4 of them at least. Boop, 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 boop. Goodbye, Star. And hey, you'll get there, Kelsh. No worries. You got this. Jury 2, my reason is I'm racist. Jury 5, I'm a speedrunner. Exactly! We have no choice but to forge forward.
You have the floor, counsel. Begin your summation examination.
Yes, my lord. Bop! His lips wiggle when he does that. I just need to keep this trial going somehow, whatever it takes. Come on, Ryunosuke, you can do it. Jury examination. Alright, so... You already admitted it? I'm allowed to press them? Oh.
Hold it!
Excuse me, but... Weren't you...
Yes, that's right. I was the witness stand just myself 2 days ago.
Heck yeah, Kelsh, you have a good one. I am short, Sant, it's true. Looks like Tintin, a little bit. Yes, I had a feeling I knew your face, or the side of it anyway. If I can remember correctly, you're a banker, aren't you?
That's right. After the gold rush down under, I came back to London to work.
I'm gonna do the sleeping. Stupid o'clock here in Australia. Yeah, you go to sleep, AB. Thanks for hopping in.
And it was all going swimmingly until you started fossicking around. Bruce Fairplay was a man of repute.
Sorry?
Don't think I've forgotten how you treated me the other day. You had me and that young hatter pegged as criminals.
Oh, well, you know, water under the bridge.
Now there's all sorts of rumors buzzing around. and the police have been badgering me non-stop.
If I could turn back the clock...
Well, anyway, I don't know about the Hatter, but at least I'm in the clear now. And free to make up my own mind about who's guilty and who isn't.
Ah, thank goodness. Alright, maybe I might struggle to change this man's mind, given our awkward history. Oh dear, I wonder what became of Mr. First now. That's the Hatter, I think. So that woman in green collapsed before his eyes. Why can it have been the victim? It can only have been the victim. You're right that at the time of the incident, the defendant admits to having seen someone wearing a green overcoat walking ahead of him. Well, quite. That's precisely my point. Clearly, that someone wearing green was the victim. And clearly that funny little Lebanese man with the disturbing mustache is the culprit. But let us not forget, madam, the defendant vehemently denies attacking the woman. Why, of course he does. If he admits to stabbing her, his life is over. This man is obviously a liver-faced coward, honestly, claiming the woman simply collapsed before his eyes. But if that's a lie, as you're suggesting, do you not think he would have concocted something more credible? Oh, I really couldn't say. After all, you are foreign. Wow! Who's to say what goes through your funny little minds? They're just, oh, the British is the norm, and everyone else is different. I could tell you what's going through my funny little mind right now, but you wouldn't like it. I do declare this man has already made the admission. He himself has stated that there was nobody else around. Surely the conclusion is obvious. No one else could have possibly committed this awful crime. No one else could have done it. The accused must be the man. Really, it couldn't be more simple.
Your argument is compelling in its simplicity, I must admit.
Oh my, you are too kind, my lord. That went well for her. Okay. Man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, not in the winter. Attack from behind. Yeah, I think the direction is, like, important. We'll just press them all. I'm not sure. But you can't deny that there are other routes Mr. Natsume could have taken back from your books. Oh, yes, like he drew on the map, you mean? What was it? Calabash Road or something? Precisely. It seems to me that when what counts is whether the little Japanese fellow actually went that way or not. Well, yes, that's true. And at the moment, there's no proof that shows he did, is there? Well, yes, that's true as well. As I understand it, the accused himself doesn't remember which way he went, does he? Well, yes, that's annoyingly true. Winter nights are dark and cold, and the way I see it, you want to get home as quickly as possible. Well, yes, why is this all true? So really, the only thing that makes sense is that he went home along Briar Road. Ah, I'm supposed to be convincing you here. I've given a lot of thought, you know. I just didn't make up my mind on a whim that he did it. I mean, if there was some logical reason why he might have gone to Calabash Roadway, it'd be different. I'd be happy to reconsider my position in that case, honest I would. A reason why Soseki-san might have taken the longer way home. Yes, a good reason. I don't imagine you'll be able to sway this young man's opinion without one. That's a good... Okay. Now, I'm not... Why would he do that? There's no one else... Nowhere else. There's nowhere else. I don't have a lot of information. I can look at that X real good, though. He's a foreigner. How could he know that it's the longer way around? Yeah, it could have just been an accident. Yeah, I don't think... File containing an overview of the case. Stab wound in the back. Pavement of Briar Road, east side. Ah! Ah! And then we have the photograph. Ah! Yeah, so, I mean... It's sort of hard to know a lot of the details, like, she was stabbed in the back. She didn't really fall on her stomach. Ah! And now look at this. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay.
Hold it!
I don't have a clue. He need to go to another shop? He didn't say that he did, but like that would be key. Whatever is the matter, young man? You're the wife of Mr. Garadep, aren't you? The landlord who rents Mr. Natsume's room. The master's wife? Where do you get your ideas, sir? I'm the maid, you understand. Just keeping up that charade? This is going to be awkward. Why didn't you mention this yesterday? That you'd been selected for the jury in this trial, I mean. Well, I was told not to mention it to anyone until the day of the trial, you see. It was in the letter I received. The instructions were very clear, so I'm afraid I had no choice. I see. Anyway, Mr. Natsume, the defendant, takes lodging in your master's house, doesn't he? Yes, that's right. Although he's only been in a little over a week now. There's a list of things he needed to buy. It's just a list of books that he bought at that other bookstore. And in that time, surely you must have taken stock of his character. Does Mr. Natsume look like the kind of man who would commit such a crime as this? Oh my goodness me, yes, he's just the sort. What? Spending all his time in that dark and dingy room, sporting that unscrupulous mustache. The man never speaks, and don't get me started on those shifty eyes. All the neighbors are talking about him. I've heard them, you know. People think he must be building a bomb in there or something. Oh dear, Mr. Natsume, how can people say such things about him? He's just a harmless bookworm! Nothing more. Well, you just called him a worm, so... Anyway, I better be careful about inviting this maid to speak. She said enough damning things already.
I don't really care.
Hold it!
Man's life is on the line here, sir. This will take as long as it takes.
Don't get clever with me now, son. My life's on the line too, and so's me family's.
Ah.
Likes of you wouldn't understand, but a laborer like me can't afford to take time off. If I don't work, I don't eat, and neither do the wife and kids.
Oh, I see. That must be very hard.
I go to the union every morning to find out what needs doing, and if you're late and the work's taken, it's tough. This time of year, there's water and gas pipes. Water and gas supply pipes bursting left, right, and center. They're after cheap labor to get the roads dug up to fix it. It's a hard slog from dawn till dusk, it is.
So, you were out digging up the roads on the day of the incident as well, were you?
Dude's out here trying to speed run the trial. That's right. In fact, if I remember rightly, it was just around the corner from where it all happened, by that old bookshop it was.
What? Another coincidence. Wait, what did you say? You were out digging up roads on the day of the incident. Oh. Another coincidence.
That's right. Meersham Street it was. Wait a minute.
Oh, okay. We had to talk to everybody. Wizard, hello. How are you?
Yeah, Meersham Street is this street, so we had to have gone the long way.
Meersham Street? On the map of Starhodo, there are only 3 named streets. Juror number 5, I need you to add that information to your formal statement, please.
What's the point in that? Can't we get just this business over with now?
Please, sir, it's important.
Fine, I'll do it then. If I have to. If I must.
I was digging up. Okay. So, we got to pit that one and that one.
Objection!
Yeah! Those two statements are clearly at odds with one another.
At odds, counsel? Explain yourself.
Please don't point. It wasn't me, I swear.
Eh, what? I just want to get this done and dusted.
Well, juror number 3. Oh, me, sir? What do you mean? Juror number 5's words just now are extremely significant. Let's take a moment to consider the implications of what's been said on our map of the local area. On the day in question, Mr. Natsume visited this bookshop to purchase a number of secondhand books. And on the same day, we now know that there were works being carried out on Meersham Street, making it impassable. Which means that the defendant's route home would not have taken him along Mearsome Street and down Briar Road. Oh, yes, of course. Well, what do you think, sir?
Well, yes, you can't argue with that, really, can you? You must have had a good 2 yards or more of pavement up. Every gentleman and gentlewoman that came along had to turn back and go the other way.
No bug exploit today. So the only conclusion is this. The defendant must have taken the longer route back to his lodgings. Yes, I suppose he must have.
I suppose that must be right, eh?
Juror number 3, you said the following. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, but we see now that he had no choice. Yes. My lord, Mr. Judge, sir, if I may.
Yes?
I don't think in good conscience I could say the man's guilty now. Yes, I'd like to see this trial continue so we can get to the bottom of what really happened. Bonk. What about you, sir?
Who, me? Well, alright then. If there's a hole in the prosecution's argument, it should be filled in. That's what I'll say.
Fire! It's so dramatic. Sans boy, welcome to stream. How are you? Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. That was wonderful. Well, we've managed to change a couple of minds at least. It's strengthened our position somewhat. Asher, hello. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Yes, and it will prompt the other members of the jury to reconsider their stance as well. They'll be asking themselves if their current leanings are really right or not. Now, if only we could just identify one more clue or discrepancy that would make them stop doubting Mr. Natsume. I'm doing pretty good. We are just vibing. Vibing to crimes. We might be able to tip the balance completely! That's exactly what we gotta do. Mr. Van Zeeks is looking to bring this trial to an early conclusion. That's what we have to prevent, by whatever means we have at our disposal. Excuse me.
Thank you, counsel. On with the summation examination, please.
Yes, my lord. Say not guilty at this point so I can see. Okay. So let's press this guy. We haven't pressed him yet.
Hold it!
Sorry. Fold it, you say? Fold what? No. What I said was hold it. What I wanted to ask was, do you visit your books often? I like the old books they have in there. Yes, I enjoy reading them over a nice cup of old tea. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about. And at what time did you visit your books on the day in question? Well, I was picking out books in there all afternoon, and it would have been just before 5 that I left. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about. Just before 5, you say, exactly when the victim was attacked. Are you sure about the time? Oh, yes, no mistake there. I remember it well. I'm not about to forget that day in a hurry, not after the dreadful time I had. What do you mean? Well, I was walking down Calabash Road when I slipped on the ice and donked my head. It's always worse after the snow stopped falling. That's when it's most slippery. Knocked myself clean out, I did. I really thought my number was up. Wait a minute, let me get this straight. This happened on Calabash Road? That's right, I live in Cornpipe, you see. Headed down Calabash Road is the quickest way for me to get back from your books. Juror number 6, I must insist that you add that information to your formal statement. It may very well be extremely significant. Oh, extremely sick? No, I'm quite all right now. You've changed two of the jurors' minds, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, two more to go. Deliver the finishing blow now. It's time to turn the tables here. Now the turntables have, okay, hold on. I slipped over that evening myself. Yeah, so hold on a sec. Did we see this guy fall? Is that what happened? Yeah, Calabash. That's the road, right? No, Calabash Road. Wait a minute. Calabash Road's over there. Said the woman who screams collapsed before his eyes. Yeah, maybe he saw a different... Maybe he saw this guy fall. Maybe that's what it is. I'm gonna... Listen. This is early on in the case. I'm gonna save it real quick. Okay, so I make you a Hatsune Mistake-u. Yeah, I think I'm gonna pit 2 and 6. I think you're right. So let's pit... Yeah, I think let's try this.
Objection!
Yeah, okay. Hell yeah! Those two statements clearly show a flaw in the juror's reasoning.
A flaw? What are you talking about, counsel?
Well, juror number 2, juror number 6. My, whatever do you mean, sir? I think perhaps the old man didn't hear you. Unbelievable, it's not like I was loud or anything. There is at least one fact to which we can be sure. The bookshop receipt found in the defendant's room clearly indicates that on the day of the attack, he had been to your books and purchased a number of secondhand titles. He then returned home on foot. But the man says he has no recollection of his return journey. That's correct. But what he does remember is seeing someone appear in front of him in the way. Someone in a green overcoat who suddenly collapsed on the pavement before his eyes. Yes, we are all well aware of this. The poor young woman who was stabbed, obviously.
Objection!
Can we really be sure of that, madam? Aye, whatever do you mean? I'm sure you heard Juror 6 accounts of what happened to him on that day. That same afternoon, there was somebody else apart from the victim, who was wearing a green overcoat and who fell over on the icy streets in the neighborhood. Oh my. My goodness, you mean... That's right. I'm referring, of course, to hard of hearing juror number 6. Are you really suggesting that the person in the green overcoat whom the defendant saw collapse in front of his eyes was the jolly old gentleman at the end of the bench here with me today? That is entirely possible, yes. After all, that old man has a somewhat similar build to the victim.
Oh, look at that.
My goodness me! Sorry, you need a pee? And crucially, we know precisely where the old man fell in the green... Where he fell, on Calabash Road. Therefore, if the person who Mr. Natsume saw collapsing in front of him was in fact juror number 6, it means the defendant must have taken the long route back to his lodgings. And if that's true, then clearly... the crime scene on Briar Road where the woman was stabbed was not on his way home. Oh my!
You idiot, old man. If you hadn't been so daft as to have been roaming around there, we'd have boxed this off hours ago.
And really, what are you thinking wearing such a befuddling coat? What did you say to me? Is it a crime for the elderly to walk the streets these days? Is it a crime to slip over on the ice? Is it a crime to keep up with the latest styles and wear a beautiful green overcoat, is it? Whoa. My lord, I do hope it won't cause any inconvenience, but...
You'd like to change your leading, I presume?
I do declare that I would. I should like to call for a verdict of not guilty. Thank you. Oh! Thanks. What? Is it a crime to change your mind, is it? Well? They're so funny.
Up.
Boop. Bonk.
Well, the summation examination has concluded with a rather large shift in opinion. The eyes 2, the nose 4. So the nose have it, not guilty, they say. Which means we no longer have a consensus among the members of the jury. The trial will continue.
Objection!
Don't break it. Just drink it, please. I love this jury. No! No!
Would it seem churlish of me to drink from my hallowed chalice moments after raising an objection? Only to crush it in disgust. Pray forgive the discourtesy.
Lord Van Zeeks!
It seems I must retract my earlier remark.
What do you mean?
I mistakenly credited these jurors with intelligence by describing them as insightful. Yet we have just witnessed them falling for a cheap trick performed by an Eastern entertainer.
Whatever do you mean?
Objection.
I haven't tricked anyone! Everything I've said is the truth.
Indeed, stalwart juror number 5 was undoubtedly repairing the road, as he claims. I believe you said it was a good 2 yards of the pavement which you excavated, sir. That's right, took me the whole day and they paid me a measly tuppence for it. Now, my learned Nipponese friend, tell me. Do you have any notion of the distance that 2 yards represents?
Well, if I'm honest, I don't have a clue, no. 2 yards is a little less than 2 meters. Less than 2 meters? That's not much at all.
In other words, a distance readily vaulted by anyone of moderate vigor. Would you not agree, my stalwart friend? Me? Well, I can't say you're wrong, no.
What?
Did you perchance erect a sign to prevent pedestrians from passing the site of your works? I wouldn't dream of it. What a waste of time. No coaches would have had hope of passing anyway. We could just turn any gentlefolk back when they come. Kids just jump right over us all the time. The accused is no gentleman as far as I can see. I have little doubt, however, that he could spring over a 2-yard trench in his meanderings around town.
Ah,
is that true, is it? The incontrovertible truth is that the books just purchased by the accused were found at the scene. There can be no doubt that on his way back to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume walked down Briar Road.
Crushed in a single sentence.
And, old man?
Old man, you can't talk? You can talk?
You say that around 5 o'clock in the day in question you slipped and fell on Calabash Road. Pray, was there a suspicious-looking Nipponese man behind you at the time?
Oh, I can't say I remember. I'm gonna make him a little more prospectory. You don't remember?
How about a wager, my learned friend? You say it was this old man that the accused saw? But I would lay 1,000 to 1 against you being able to prove it.
Ah! Oh no. Oh no! Hey! Lord Van Zeeks has played yourself.
My lord? If you had such a trenchant argument up your sleeve, why in the world did you not proffer it during the summation examination? I wanted to give this young foreign student the sightseeing experience he no doubt came for. I wanted him to see for himself how the opinion of the jury is so readily swayed. But my hospitality has its limits, and they have been reached, I feel.
Oh! Capes are off.
So, my learned friend, today's sightseeing tour of London is now over.
What are you talking about?
My lord, the prosecution requests permission to call its next witnesses to the stand. Granted. Bailiff, bring forth the witnesses.
It's next witnesses? Mr. Naruhodo, do you not remember? I've been told on several occasions that there were eyewitnesses to the incident. Are you stupid? Are you an idiot? Yes, I remember. One of them being a Scotland Yard policeman, no less. I'm afraid that's likely to be the prosecution's next witness. All right, no matter who Van Zeeks brings to the stand as his witnesses, and no matter what they say, I believe in Soseki-san. I know he's innocent. And I'll keep believing it to the very end, until this battle is over. Oh, I love her. I love her very much.
Witnesses, please state your name and occupation for the court.
I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break, but I want to look at these two beautiful people. Look at them. She has like a corduroy little bow. She's got Oshinoko eyes. All right, I'll be right back. One moment, everybody. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Officer has dents in his helmet. Is he fit for duty? He looks drunk, and he's eating his little strap. What a crazy time. All right, here we go. Constable Roy beat. Rolly beat. Rolly beat? Rolly beatty? I don't know, I'm not sure. Constable Rolly beatty, sir! Nothing to report on the streets, sir! J-Dog, hello! Oh, he looks fit as a fiddle. And I'm Mrs. Beat. Patricia's my name. I'm proud to say I'm this young town hero's wife. What's the story here? Well, in truth, we've not been married long. In fact, we celebrated our first anniversary only the other day. Hello, my name's Rolly. No, it was your husband I was talking about. He seems tired.
Hardly surprising. Whilst being an honorable occupation, patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world.
Oh, Moto, hello! How are you?
Oh, really?
Oh, really? I'm sure I've heard that before, actually.
Indeed, apart from the rare days off, our gallant officers trudge some 20 miles a day, you know. They patrol boarding houses and pubs, collect taxes, survey the streets, check the meters are reading true. And they're responding for keeping the streets clean and lighting and extinguishing our streetlights.
There are a number of items on that list that don't sound much like policing duties at all. I'm doing great. Welcome. We're doing all the voices. It's real silly. We're gonna solve a murder. Most foul. I wouldn't just be falling asleep on my feet. I'd have collapsed long ago.
But it goes without saying that a policeman's primary duty is the apprehension of criminals. Even when he's off duty, a constable is expected to investigate and resolve any crimes on his beat. For the London Bobby is a man of honor.
And a man of slumber.
On the day in question, this man and his wife were walking down Briar Road. In the opposite direction. And they witnessed the incident as it occurred. Is that not correct, Mr. and Mrs. Beat?
They're beat cops, I guess is what it is.
That's right, sir, isn't it, Rolly?
Constable Roy Bates, sir! Nothing to report on the streets, sir! What a great witness he's gonna be.
Very good. I'd like to hear your formal testimonies now, please. You will tell the court exactly what you saw on the afternoon of the incident.
Yes, sir! Skate 3. I never played those. They looked difficult. Is it fun? Oh, excuse me. When the witnesses saw. No, I take that back. I had a friend who had, like, the first Skate, and it was too hard for me. I couldn't get a handle of it.
It was our wedding anniversary, and Rolly was taking me out for a meal. There was no time to change after work. Anyway, the two silhouettes appeared out of the fog in the pavement in front of us. All of a sudden, one of them just collapsed on the floor, and the other scattered something before running off. We ran straight over, of course, and then we went for help at a nearby police box. It was definitely that Japanese man at the dock. Really, I both saw him clear as day.
Bow, 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 bow. Bow, bow. It's fun, you just gotta learn it. Hell yeah!
Well, this is extremely compelling testimony, I must say.
Oh dear, this policeman and his wife are claiming to have positively identified Mr. Natsume at the scene. If their testimony is true, the alternative course of events that you established in the summation examination will be quashed.
It's death knell, in fact. Because that alternative was never viable in the first place. What an unfortunate chancing, and on your wedding anniversary, too.
Oh, I know. But I still managed to go out for the evening with my man. I thank the Lord for that.
Gonna be back to work now. He being on Saturday. Hell yeah, Saturday's gonna be fun. We're having a editing workshop day. That's gonna be fun.
Gosh, the life of a London Bobby sounds very hard indeed.
Indeed. However, this cross-examination will be over in minutes. You may well have rest. You may well have time to rest this afternoon.
What do you mean by that?
My learned friend, the witnesses saw the face of the man fleeing the scene. They are testifying under oath that it was without doubt the accused, Mr. Soseki Natsume. And one of these witnesses is a policeman, no less, so you appreciate the gravity of the situation, I'm sure.
Except that the man's so tired his wife has to do all the talking.
Enough preamble. Counsel for the defense, commence the cross-examination, please.
Nuh-uh. Your Honor, nuh-uh.
Yes, my lord. It was our wedding anniversary and Rowley was taking me out for a meal.
There was no time to change after work. That seems
Hold it!
important. No time to change after work, you say? Are you also a member of the police, Mrs. B?
Oh no, sadly not. It's a job for the strapping young men only. Women, children, and the elderly can't even apply.
Ah, I think you can probably see why the children and the elderly can't do the job, can't you?
I think Rowley looks ever so handsome in his uniform. It suits you down to the ground, doesn't it, darling?
Are they wearing the same scarf? Is that the deal? I think it's this one real big Doctor Who scarf.
Huh? What? I just finished my beat.
Pat and I were heading back to the station, and I was actually planning on getting changed there. Is he talking in his sleep? This is creepy.
Oh no, Rowley, I much prefer you in uniform. Sometimes I don't recognize you when I see you in plain clothes. Oh dear, that doesn't seem healthy.
Kindly adhere to the point. You were going for a meal after you had finished your beat for the day, correct?
That's right, sir, yes. Although I was fit to drop, I'll be honest, after spending the whole day on my feet.
But policing in my life, sir. And as long as I'm the proud owner of this, I'll serve my city and the Queen to the end. What's that now? My ward card, sir. Proof that I'm a London copper. It has the noble founding principles of the force written on it, as a reminder to all us policemen of our sworn duty. To patrol the streets of London town and uphold the peace of the common man. Sir! And for such a noble cause, I cover 20 miles every single day without fail and without a grumble. Because I know that the plodding of my boots is all Londoners need to hear and feel safe and secure. So, fighting crime doesn't appear to come into it then. What? Why are they at court? Our guy stabbed a guy. Maybe. But sir, just on that one particular day, I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. Mrs. B puts up with a lot being married to a bobby like me. Whoa! I wanted to show my dear wife how much I care. Oh, look at him. Kinda love him. Oh, Pat!
Oh, Rowley! Oh, what a charming couple. Their young love is such a joy to behold.
Cat's Corner, hello. It's a little over the top, perhaps.
And then, kindly describe what happened next.
They got a room, the courtroom.
Anyways, two silhouettes appeared out of the fog in the pavement in front of us.
Hold it!
Two silhouettes?
That's right! They were coming towards us, walking up the Briar Road in the opposite direction. There was a rather plump figure, followed by a scrawny, thin-looking man. It does sound exactly like the victim as pictured in this print, and like Mr. Natsume.
Yes, unfortunately it does.
And you're certain that at this time there was nobody else nearby?
Oh yes, quite certain. It was dark, but there were streetlights on Briar Road, you see. There was nobody else around at all. Isn't that right, my darling?
Huh? What? Oh, yes, that's right. Of course, there was this light fog on the ground. The Briar Road is dead straight, and you can see fairly long down the pavement. And then there's the street lighting as well. I didn't see any other pedestrians.
Before sleep takes a firm hold, your answer, please, Mr. Beat. Are you quite sure of what you've just said?
Yes, sir. As a copper who spends all day, every day, keeping watch on the streets, I swear to it, sir.
She's so inflamed.
As I'm sure as my love for Patricia is true. Dear Mama, good morning.
Oh, Pat. Oh, Rowley.
But I did it backwards. They're still maintaining that there was no one else other than the victim and the attacker. Starting to seem like that must be how it really happened.
It didn't seem like there's nowhere to run.
Well, that didn't stop Mr. Natsume, did it? He fled the scene all too convincingly.
Thank you. I believe we have a reasonably clear idea of the situation just before the incident now.
Back on the case, baby. Boop, 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 boop. That was a bad joke. Hey, says you.
What happened in the crucial moments that followed?
All of a sudden, one of them just collapsed on the floor, and the other scattered something before running off.
Hold it!
Scattered something? What do you mean by that?
Oh well, I couldn't quite make out what it was at the time. But when we got closer, we realized what it was. Didn't we, darling?
He needs a new hat.
Huh? What? Oh, yes, that's right. It was some old books.
I see, old books.
Yes, sir, the culprit had dropped a number of them, around where the victim lay on the pavement.
He's very sleepy, Shark.
Indeed, as clearly pictured in this photographic print.
That one Japanese man did that when he did the deed.
Hold it!
Let's not forget that it remains to be established that the defendant was indeed the attacker.
Well, we saw him. It was the man in the dock without question, sir. The mustache, the hunched back, the cat-like eyes, the taut mouth, the snub nose, everything.
Any more insults you want to throw in?
That's right, he looked down at that poor defenseless woman with those terrifying, intense eyes. And then suddenly threw his books onto the pavement and ran away.
I see. This is tough. They seem as though they're telling me the truth here. May I remind the court that this unambiguous testimony comes from a policeman and his wife. Now, please continue.
Yes, sir!
He's so sleepy, I know that feel.
We ran straight over, of course, and then we went to help at a nearby police box.
Was it your husband who went to fetch help?
No, I went. I may not be a police officer myself, but I am the proud wife of one after all. Isn't that right, my darling?
What? Ah, yes, that's right. I asked Miss Beat to go. I was off duty by that point. But the Bobby's never truly off duty, so of course I felt obliged to stay and guard the scene.
Very laudable, Mr. Beat. Preserving the scene of a crime is a task of considerable importance.
That's why I sent Patricia, you see. I told her where to find the right police box. Forgive my ignorance, but what do you mean exactly by the right police box? Depends on the crime's location, you see, as to who deals with it. Where the woman was stabbed wasn't actually on my beat, so I told Patricia to way to the police box for the beat the incident fell under, so she could go and report it. Snore.
I ran there as quickly as I could to ask for help from the Bobby on duty. There was nothing more potent than a young couple in love working together, you know.
And thanks to your swift response, the case was quickly resolved to the actions of two model citizens.
Oh, please, you're making us blush, isn't he, darling?
Isn't he, darling? Yes, sir, what Patricia said, sir. Let's move on, shall we? Yeah, he does look like he's about to pass out.
It was definitely that Japanese man in the dock. Rody and I both saw him.
Clear as day.
But surely you wouldn't have been able to see his face by the light of the gas street lamps, would you? He's an EP boy.
We absolutely could. Us Londoners have exceptional eyesight, I'll have you know.
Right. Why is she so ingy?
The light from the street lights was more than enough. And my husband already told you that the fog was only light, didn't he?
Ah, yes, and what of the fog?
We're famous for it across the globe, I believe. But it's an absolute menace to those of us who have to live with it, of course.
Oh, it is, it is. When it's thick, you can't even see the hand at the end of your own arm.
Yes, all right, I take your point. Now, could you stop shaking your husband about?
The constant fogs makes our eyes very sharp, you see. That's why we can tell you for sure and certain that it was that little Japanese man we saw. Can't we, darling?
What? Ah, yes, it was the accused and no mistake. The mustache, the hunchback, the cat-like eyes, the taut mouth, the snub nose. Unmistakable, sir! As far as this couple's testimony is concerned, there can't be any question. It was Sasaki-san they saw running away from the scene of the crime. So that's it, is it? That's their entire testimony?
What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo?
Well, I hate to admit it, but on hearing the testimony, it really does seem as though Mr. and Mrs. Beat saw what they saw. Natsume running away from the scene on Briar Road that day.
Yes, I feel the same.
So if that's true, where does it leave us?
The members of the jury are sure to call for a guilty verdict after this testimony.
Oh no, then what will we do?
If Kazuma-sama were here,
What are you trying to say?
I think he would try to find a contradiction somewhere.
Yeah, no, I know how to...
Somewhere else. Their statement about seeing Mr. Natsume is unequivocal. Calling that into question won't help. But if you can identify some other part of their testimony which appears to contradict the facts, you might be able to discredit them to make the jury doubt if the pair's memory to the day is accurate.
Oh, right.
Put simply, we must focus on finding a discrepancy in these statements. Somewhere else. If we don't, we're gonna die. We're just gonna die to death.
Kawamoto, I love you.
Boop, 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 boop. Mr. Lawyer, sir, can I ask you something?
Oh, yes, of course. What is it?
Well, you keep asking us all these questions about everything we've told you, so... It seems like you don't believe our testimony.
Oh, that's so cute.
Is that right? Is it? Well, out with it.
What? No, it's really not that at all.
My husband's a policeman, remember? And I know what I saw. I remember every last detail, everything. Like, oh, I know about the books the man dropped.
Oh, okay, here we go.
I can tell you the names of every single one I could, every single one. And you dare to question how reliable my testimony is?
Tell us the book names.
That will do, Miss Beat.
No, it won't do it all. A Japanese lawyer has no idea what I'm capable of. Even if I decide to forgive him for insulting us, don't think that for a moment Rolly will.
I really didn't mean to cause offense. Please put your husband's fists down.
But perhaps you would like the opportunity to supplement your testimony, Miss Beat. Might that appease you?
Oh, thank you, my lord. That would settle things nicely.
Die to death. That's a funny thing to say.
Wouldn't it, darling?
Yeah, tell us the name of the books. Let me tell you the names of the 4 books. Yeah, oh my god. 4 books? 4? Wait a minute. There's only 3 books. There's only 3 books.
Objection!
Ah! So, you're saying that there were 4 books?
That's right, I remember all of them. A picture of Monsieur somebody, what's he yearnings, a meal for someone, and the thing gummy something.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, so 3 of those are right, but what about the 4th one? I think. I'm sorry, Miss Beat. But there is a fundamental flaw in that statement of yours.
Oh no, what? What flaw?
Simply that, at the scene of the crime, there were only 3 books, not 4.
What?
This is the receipt from the bookshop where the defendant bought his books.
Your books?
Yes, and the details that Mr. Natsume purchased, and it details his purchases. But as you can see, only 3 books are listed.
Only 3? But no, that can't be. I remember seeing them. There were 4 books, I tell you, 4 dirty books.
Oh, really? Have a good look at this photographic print of the scene of the crime. There's only 3 books. There's only 3. Oh my god.
But I just don't believe it. I saw them there. I swear it, I saw them.
No, madam, I'm afraid your powers of observation cannot be relied upon.
Gah.
So it cannot be denied that though you say it was the defendant you saw, you could very well be mistaken.
No. Oh, no.
Ooh, she lying. Yeah, they're connected at the scarf. That's so funny.
It's plainly evident that it is your powers of deduction that cannot be relied upon, my learned Nipponese friend.
What?
What cannot be denied is that these two witnesses saw the accused running from the scene. A fact you know very well you have no hope of disproving.
Ah!
So you've striven to avert attention from that by a dint of some inconsequential discrepancies. Would that be fair?
Sees right through me.
But your plan has somewhat recoiled against you.
What are you talking about?
It's quite simple. Let me explain with a toast. To the policeman's wife and her entirely accurate testimony in every respect.
Oh!
You see, the matter is not up for debate. At the scene on Briar Road, a total of 4 books were most definitely found.
Objection.
I feel like the EP boy. Get it? Let's have a nice lie down. But what about the photograph? What about the photography? It only shows 3 books.
Quite right. Only 3 can be seen in that print.
That print? You mean to say? No! Drink it. Don't wait. You're so wasteful.
Allow me to present another. One that shows the victim's hand.
The lion's pride. I don't believe it. It's the 4th book.
As you will observe, the 4th book was hidden from view in the original print by the victim's torso.
It looks eated.
No!
Order, order!
There, you see? Look at that. Look. Yes. It's just like I said, isn't it, my darling?
Yes, sir. Patricia's always right, sir.
To study the receipt of the books purchased by the accused on the day in question. Mrs. Beat, the titles once again, if you please.
Oh, yes, of course. The picture of Monsieur somebody or other.
The picture of Monsieur Lecoq?
What's it, yearnings?
Canterbury earnings.
A meal for someone.
A meal for Gabreau, in fact. As the court has just heard, the witness remembers the book titles flawlessly, save for a few minor details. Mrs. Beat's powers of recollections can only be described as exceptional.
Did you hear that, Rowley? The gentleman paid me a compliment.
Yes, sir. Flawless, sir. Patricia is flawless. But there are only 3 books on the receipt, and Mrs. Beat mentioned 4.
There's nothing surprising about that. Clearly, the 4th book is that which is shown in the photographic print. I'm sorry, counsel, but that does not seem odd. Why should the 4th book be omitted from the receipt? It's not odd at all, my lord. As the photograph clearly shows, the 4th book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, it belongs to the victim.
The victim was holding her own book?
I wonder, what became of that 4th book?
Obviously, it wasn't overlooked by the investigating officers at Scotland Yard. I have it here as evidence. You will submit that and the aforementioned photographic print to the court, please, counsel. My pleasure, my lord.
So many clues.
Excuse me, the prosecution rests all the way. I have nothing further to add.
What?
You seem surprised, my learned friend. But your resistance until now has been in vain. Entertaining, yes, but futile.
The Lion's Pride book is burnt, so it belonged to the maid and her husband. Drax, hello, how are you? I'm doing great.
The spurious longer route to the accuser's lodgings that you tried to establish in your summation examination, and the attempted discrediting of the witness's powers of recollection in your cross-examination.
Futile? I walked right into this, didn't I?
You see, everything we said is true. Isn't that right, my darling?
You hear his bone snap.
Yes, Pat. Marry me, Pat.
They're already married. So perhaps the ladies and gentlemen of the jury would like to reconsider their positions. Should the court waste any more time on this Nipponese travesty? Or is the decision you have to make all too apparent already?
Just give me a sack.
You have heard all the witnesses and seen all of the evidence. The trial has run its course.
I'm afraid we are in a terribly precarious position.
I know, but if I fight back in the wrong way now, I could very well just make matters worse. Think, Rinosuke, think. What do you do now?
Let's look at the court record. Oops. Let's like actually look at these.
So yeah, that's I mean,
this magnifying glass does nothing. It's like harder to see.
Let's look at the book. Yeah, it's all about lions. Oh!
Oh, look at this. The book has been badly burned.
You're right. You'd never be able to read it in this state, especially not the latter pages.
What a terrible waste. Judging from the scorched edges of the paper, I think the damage must have occurred very recently.
A book recently damaged by fire. Why does that seem to raise a red flag with me? Oh.
Hold your tongue, wine waster.
You got a job interview next week. Hell yeah. I hope you get it. You're going to nail it. Except even though I look like a burnt chicken nugget, I still love myself. All right, let's raise an objection.
Objection.
I'm not done yet.
No, my learned friend, it's over. That last cross-examination was your final chance to establish a credible defense, and you failed. The die has been cast. There is no more room for debate.
Well, it might be over as far as you're concerned, but I can't think of what to say.
Yes, you can.
If I may, Lord Van Zieks, it seems rather boorish to close. It seems somewhat boorish to close down the debate at this point.
Your insignificant little Eastern Isle must be a lawless hole indeed. Oh my god. For a lowly judicial assistant to have the audacity to intervene at a moment like this.
Oh,
I am, to my shame, still a very inexperienced lawyer. So you will have to forgive me, but I consider my assistant's advice essential and her opinions invaluable.
Mr. Naruto!
One of this lad's great writing principles is tolerance, so the court will hear you, madam.
Go ahead, Mrs. Sato, please.
Very well. Pray, what insight can you give us? What have we all overlooked in this matter that you see fit to pursue further?
Well, the court has been presented with new evidence, but only after the last cross-examination finished.
I see. And you believe that this new evidence warrants further examination, do you?
Mr. Naruto, what do you think? It's just possible that this new evidence might be the decisive proof we've been waiting for. The judge is sure to ask the members of the jury to announce their leanings in a moment. And of course, he's sure to ask you to explain what the crucial piece of evidence is and why. So we must take this opportunity to examine the newly presented evidence as thoroughly as possible!
Yes, I understand. And thank you, Mrs. Sato. This is it. Sato-san has managed to win us one last chance here. It's always down to the wire every time. Friend an Xbox named I Eat Chalk. Is that the character from Deltarune? I can't let it go to waste. Boom. The defense wishes to present evidence, my lord.
Very well. The defense may present one further piece of evidence. Evidence that apparently offers a profound insight into this case and has hitherto been overlooked. It's the book.
Take that!
It's obviously the book. The evidence in question is what we can see from the newly presented photographic print of the crime scene. The fourth book, found in the victim's hand.
Objection!
We have already discussed the fourth book at length. Other than it being in the victim's grasp at the time of the incident, no significance has been attached to it. Pursuing the matter further would be a flagrant waste of the court's time, as you well know. Yes, I'm afraid, counsel, I must concur with the prosecution on this matter. When I afforded you this opportunity, You led the court to believe that the evidence in question contained a hitherto undiscovered clue. I must insist that you elaborate, counsel. You must identify this clue at once. Do I make myself clear?
Oh, yes, my lord. It's, Tsunahodo! I believe the prosecution is trying to avoid a thorough examination of the evidence. Which means you may very well be on the right track. Yes, I think you may be right.
So, counsel, show us the burn. Show us the burn. Oh my god. Just hurry up and show us the burn part of it.
Got it!
Got it!
Lawless finger point. I would ask the court to observe the back of the book in question.
The back? What do you... Gracious! It's been burnt to a crisp.
So we have to ask ourselves, why was the victim clutching what is clearly an unreadable book? It is undeniably an extremely unnatural thing for her to have been doing.
Objection!
Unnatural, you say? And what of it, my Nipponese friend?
Oh?
Were I to concede the point, if it bears no relation to the case, there is nothing to discuss. So, should you wish to assert that this fire damage is some veiled clue as to what happened that day? Pray, do enlighten us all. What truth does this charred book hide?
A charred book. There is just one possibility here, which I can't quite bring myself to rule out. An outside chance, certainly, but worth a try. Alright, sounds good. Oh, no. Alright, I'll explain my theory.
Don't keep us waiting any longer then, counsel. Explain this theory of yours. What are you suggesting that you can ascertain from the fire damage this sorry tome has suffered?
Its owner. My lord, the burn on the back of this book reveals a startling truth. About the book's owner.
I beg your pardon?
But we already know who this book belongs to. The victim was gripping it in her hand as she fell to the floor after all. It's obviously hers.
The question of how this book came to be in the victim's hand is yet to be answered. However, as to the questions of who the book really belongs to and where it originated, the defense has very credible answers.
Gracious, how could you possibly? Very well, I'll play along with this futile attempt to delay your inevitable demise. But do remember, the members of this jury may very well burn you if your little gamble goes awry. Counsel, the defense's response here is very likely to influence the final outcome of this trial. Well, tell the court, who do you claim is the owner of the burnt book?
Tobias Gregson. No. It's John Garadeb.
Take that!
Yeah! Boom! The answer is that the book belongs to the couple who owns the house where the defendant had his lodgings. A certain Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb.
The landlords?
And whether this is some extraordinary coincidence or some kind of fate at work, I don't know, but of all the people in London, one of the 6 chosen for jury duty in this courtroom today is none other than Mrs. Garadeb herself.
Oh my goodness! Me? I think you must be mistaken, sir. I'm not Mrs. Garadeb's wife. I'm his maid.
Things would be so much easier if you just dropped the pretense. Excuse me. There's Comfy. No, I did it. I'm murdered. All right, then. How about a simple question for you? Have you ever seen this book in Mr. Garadeb's house?
I would never presume to know all the books he keeps, sir.
Objection! This is outlandish behavior. This woman is the accused landlady, you say? You implicate this hard-working member of the public. You besmirch her without a shred of evidence. Your actions are unforgivable.
Objection!
Off to jail with me. It's the gallows. No! This is not mere conjecture. The defense happens to know that on the day in question, at almost exactly the same time as the victim was stabbed on the pavement below, another incident was taking place in the room on the top floor of Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb's house.
Good lord! What sort of incident, counsel?
A fire, my lord.
Right to say it. Oh, his voice was like, right to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know.
She's the maid. She's the maid, but she's the wife also.
The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bally thing. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bally furniture started going up as well. Worst of it is, I lost my favorite. A book called The Lion's Pride.
Oh, I don't know why there was a period there. That seemed like an incident, an accident. The Lion's Pride.
By Jove, it's his very same title and the subject of this debate.
Oh dear me.
Objection!
This is risible. All we've told the court is that a book by the same name was involved in a fire. In which case, it would be reasonable to assume that it was burnt to ashes. And entirely unreasonable to infer that it magically removed itself from the scene of the crime. It's made in the eye of the kitchen. Perhaps it would make more sense if I told you that the case of the fire was marital discord. Discord? Discord? Without going into the details, it appears that Mrs. Garrideb was considerably enraged. Apparently, she continued to attack Mr. Garrideb, even amid the flames.
Oh, how awful! I can't imagine being so horrid to the one you love, can you, Rolly?
Absolutely not, sir. My Patricia would never raise a finger against me, sir.
Bum, 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 bum.
Had all my favorite old novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got a hold of them, that was it. Whoosh, up in smoke. And the wife started hurling things at me. There I was, back up against the window, under heavy enemy fire, incendiary books coming 10 to the dozen. The man had his back up against the window, and he had burning books thrown at him. Goodness gracious, are you suggesting that the book was thrown through the window and landed coincidentally at the scene of the crime?
Objection!
No, a thorough investigation of the surrounding area was conducted the very evening of the incident, and there was no report of the Garrideb's window pane being broken.
That's quite true. We also saw no sign of broken glass when we visited the Garrideb household. But it is not conceivable that the window was open at the time and...
Not even remotely. Let us not forget the season and the chilling weather that accompanies it. No Londoner would ever leave a window open in the middle of winter. Oh no, he's right.
Ah!
Been whipping you around like a rag doll, sir.
Does the defense postulate this scenario in all seriousness, counsel? You earnestly claim that the book found at the scene was a flaming projectile thrown by Mr. Garrideb's wife.
I believe it's a possibility, my lord.
That's quite enough, says someone.
Well, I hope that everyone can see what you for... Hope that everyone can see you for what you are now, you little foreign trickster. You call yourself a lawyer, but you're just a coward, a mean coward.
Really?
Claiming that our little tiff set the whole neighborhood alight, honestly. Implying that I'm merely posing as a maid for appearance's sake. How could you? It's nothing to do with this beastly case, not any of it. All you've done is sully our family's name.
No, I assure you that was never my intention.
Dragging up an upstanding citizen's name through the mud, simply to divert attention from your failing defense. I should box your ears is what I should do. It's utterly unforgivable.
Too right.
Here we go. Uh-oh.
How long have we sat here now listening to this Nipponese spouting his fancy foreign theories? But think about it. At the end of the day, the only person who could have possibly have stabbed the victim is that little hunchback with the mustache, and he ran away from the scene, too.
I do declare you're right.
It's true. Yes, what did I tell you?
Makes sense to me.
Sorry? What's that?
Stop.
Well, it would appear that the ladies and gentlemen of the jury are once again in full agreement. Is your position, Lord Van Zieks?
In truth, my lord, I feel as though... I feel these have been unnecessarily protracted proceedings. But then one must always exercise patience in order to savor the best vintage.
No, wait. The mystery of the fourth book still hasn't been... No!
He did the foot thing. If books are your predilection, my learned friend, study them on your own time.
He hardly drinks it, G-Mama, is the thing. He throws it in the fire a lot of the time.
What, no forgive the discourtesy this time?
In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, You will now state your individual decisions regarding the defendant's culpability for the court to hear.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Okay.
Guilty.
All right.
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
Bump. Ah! Not again. Not again.
Thank you for that unambiguous response.
It's twice now. It's over. Shinohara, don't give up. Mr. Sato, have you forgotten? The battle isn't over yet. You need to do that thing. Of course, another summation examination. Don't be stupid. Why are you being stupid?
My lord, the defense exercise a right to a summation examination.
You believe you still have tricks up your sleeve?
I don't intend to trick anybody. I intend to uncover the truth. There's no time to be downcast. As long as there's a chance, I have to stay strong and determined. And I have to not be stupid.
To be continued. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's crazy. All right, I know it's early, but I think we're gonna call it there. I have a feeling, I have a sneaking suspicion that the next portion of this case is gonna be long as hell. So we'll leave it on this little cliffhanger. We'll finish this up next week, baby. Oh my goodness, we got a long stream yesterday, and now we'll account for that right now. Boop, 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 boop. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Y'all are the coolest. I love you all to pieces. Thank you so much for hanging out. We kind of announced it a little bit before, but this Saturday at 9 a.m. West Coast American time, I'm doing a surprise, or not a surprise stream. I'm doing a special stream where we're going to be doing, people have sent me a lot of their TikToks and YouTube shorts and like reels and stuff, and we're going to be workshopping a fair amount of them, live on stream. So that's going to be real cool, and then I'll try and turn that into like a YouTube video kind of a thing. I'm really excited about it. I am, if this sort of takes off, I'm very much considering like making this sort of a regular thing. I am looking into maybe doing like certain streams over on YouTube, so there's also that to consider. This will be on stream for on Twitch for sure, but in the future, you know, if people like it, if people want to keep doing these, then I would love to just like do these on my YouTube channel, my editing channel. Which, by the way, everybody, if you're not already following, there is the YouTube channel link. Boo, 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 boo. We also have my card. Well, we find somebody to raid. We have my card and my the link to the Discord. The Discord's a beautiful place full of lovely people, and the card, it has all my socials and all that stuff, all that good old stuff. So it's lovely, and I'd love to see you there. If you want to follow me on Twitter or Instagerms or like whatever, you know, then we can then that's the place. Who's on? Who may I? Who is? How do I? Oh. Let's find, you know what? Let's make a new friend. Let's make a new friend. Let's make a new friend. Swag. Who are you? You've got cute little hair buns. Who are you? It's loading. Yeah, let's raid this person. They're just chatting, and they've got a very cute model. We're gonna make some new friends, baby. Just once this ad is over, I'm gonna make sure that it looks like they kind of just got going. So, dang, I can't see enough Marvel trailers, y'all. Marvel trailers. Yeah, everything looks good. All right. I love you all to pieces, and if you are a subscriber, you can copy and paste this raid message when we go over there. And if you're not a subscriber, hey, if you have the means, it'd really help me out. But no worries. No pressure one way or the other. I love you all to pieces. We're going to be real cool to Luna Faye VT. I love you all. I hope to see you on Saturday. I'm real excited about Saturday. Bye, 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 bye.